Hi everyone, welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Steven.
I'm Minnie.
Today's date is September 15th, and for the next 2 days, please look at pages 34 to 37 under Just So You Know. And the title today is Samoyeds, Born in the Snow with Warm Smiles.
那我们今天9月15号在34到37页，我们今天的主题是生活快递，要来讲可爱狗狗萨摩耶，冰雪中温暖的微笑天使。
Samoyed dogs are beautiful, smart, and strong. All right, so let's get started.
Samoyeds, born in the snow with warm smiles. Dogs are widely known as humans' best friend. In fact, studies show that dogs and humans have lived together for over 10,000 years. The Samoyed is one of the many dog breeds that have helped people in different ways for a long time. Samoyeds are medium-sized dogs with thick white fur. They are named after the Samoyedic peoples, their original owners in northwestern Siberia. The Samoyedic peoples were peaceful nomads who survived the cold northern climate by hunting and raising reindeer. Their dogs helped with both tasks and were also trained to pull sleds over the snow and ice. They treated these dogs like family members, so the dogs developed a deep connection with humans. During the winter, the dogs helped keep people warm and even protected the children while the adults were hunting outside. Samoyeds were first brought out of Siberia at the end of the 19th century. Later, they worked as sled dogs on trips to the North and South Poles. In the process, these brave animals faced such difficult conditions that only a few of them survived and returned. Although they once lived in extremely cold environments, Samoyeds have gotten used to warmer climates and now keep people company around the world.
Dogs are widely known as humans' best friend.
那狗狗呢，以身为人类最好的朋友而广为人知。
Yes, so wide as an adjective usually is like a physical space or describing something by its physical appearance. But when it's being used as an adverb, it can be used to describe something that is done by a lot of people.
那刚刚老师有讲 wide, W-I-D-E, wide 这个字，如果是形容词的话，它有宽阔的意思。但如果加了 ly 变成副词 widely， 那就有点像是被广为人知、被很多人接受的那种感觉。
And then a lot of times when we talk about dogs, we say that they are man's best friend.
人类最好的朋友。
Yeah, so man in this situation is not just talking about men.
Human.
Okay, it's talking about humans.
人类。
So here we see humans' best friend. And because it's not just one human's best friend, it's a lot of humans' best friend. So that's why we have the plural and then the apostrophe.
那在这边呢，有一个很重要的所有格，我们都知道要加一撇。可是当你是复数的名词要加所有格的时候，我们那个一撇那个 apostrophe 就会加在 s 的外面。那读音上的话也不用太苛求，反正它就是 humans，
Yeah.
就是一样是那个 s 的声音就可以了。
Exactly. In fact, studies show that dogs and humans have lived together for over 10,000 years.
那事实上，研究表明，狗和人类已经共同生活超过10000年那么久了。
Yes. So here we start the sentence with in fact. So a lot of times we use this transition as a replacement for something like actually. And it's usually just to introduce like further information from something that you already talked about in the previous sentence.
所以我们有时候会用 in fact， 那你也常常看到有人会用 actually， 它其实就是事实上，我们就是在讲一些更多的，就是我们上一句可能已经提过类似的事情，那我们这一句又要再讲更多 further information，更多的资讯的时候，我们就会用这样子的转成词。
Yeah, and actually a lot of times when we say actually, we think it means cheese and adding information, but sometimes it can have an element of saying something in contrast.
就是有可能也是不只是说一样的内容，有可能是这样讲说 in contract 就是相反的。
Yes.
Actually， 事实上。
Yeah. So there are some people that I know that because we learn actually in Chinese is 其实, we don't think we're contradicting what someone is saying. But I've had a lot of American friends that maybe they went to Hong Kong because Hong Kong, they actually say actually a lot.
Oh.
Okay. And then my American friends were like, I didn't say anything wrong. Why do you keep trying to correct me?
Oh,
but actually because in Cantonese, they say 其實, which is actually 其實. And 其實 is actually our way to be like, oh, in fact, blah, 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 blah. We're trying to add in more information, but it can sound like you're contradicting someone if they hear it too much.
所以老师懂一点点广东话。所以老师说在香港他们讲 actually 很多。所以他们说，你为什么就跟那个外国人聊天，外国人会觉得说啊，你为什么要一直好像抵触我的话，
否定我，
对，否定我，但是他其实是就是要讲更多资讯的用法。
It's just something to pay attention to because if you say actually too many times, people really will think that you're...
Get offended?
Yeah, they might get offended. Yeah, it depends on how you say it and how often you say it. So in fact is a very good way to say something like that to add more information without making people feel that you're contradicting them.
所以就是这也是为什么我们要学很多不同的讲法嘛，对不对？
Exactly.
才不会一直重复一样的，听起来好像就是那个耳朵跟那个脑袋会觉得很重这样。
Exactly. And in the sentence show, I feel like you could also use the verb demonstrate. demonstrate.
展示、展现。
So studies demonstrate that dogs and humans have lived together for over 10,000 years. The Samoyed is one of the many dog breeds that have helped people in different ways for a long time.
萨摩耶犬是众多长期以来以各种方式帮助人类的犬种之一。
Yeah, so it's not the only dog breed, okay? It's one of the many. Okay? So there are many dog breeds that have lived with people for a long time, but this is just one of them, and it's the main subject that we're talking about today.
所以我们在这边可以看到 one of 的用法，就是 one of 它是其中之一，众多的其中之一，所以要记得 one of 后面的名词还是要用复数。
Yes, and what is a breed? It's usually a specific group of domestic animals, or it can be plants within a single species, and they all share like the same appearance or the same behavior and genetic traits.
那 breed 呢，它其实就是种类，基本上就是它们的外观长得很像，它们的特征都是类似，它们是一样都是犬。都是狗狗，但它有不同的种类的时候，我们就会用 breed 这个字。
And we have helped people in different ways for a long time because it's from the past until now. Okay, have helped people in different ways.
所以我们用 have helped 这个比较高级一点的文法，大家很容易用错的文法就是这个完成式的用法，因为毕竟是从以前到现在一直持续发生的事情。
Let's take a short break. All right, so in the previous paragraph, we ended with a really good way to kind of start introducing what are Samoyeds. Okay, so this paragraph is going to start out just kind of describing what these Samoyed dogs look like. Samoyeds are medium-sized dogs with thick white fur.
萨摩耶是中型犬，拥有浓密的白色毛发。
Yeah, so here we see medium with a hyphen and then sized. So it's taking two words, adding them together to make them into an adjective. So we're just describing that these dogs are not large, they're not small, but they're medium.
那这边我们可以看到 medium size， 它中间有一个 hyphen 一个杠杠，它其实就是复合形容词，它不是大也不是小狗，它是中型犬，就是中等 size 的，所以 medium size 的。
So fur, in Chinese we say 毛, right? So whenever it is the 毛 of an animal, we tend to say fur.
但如果是人的话，就用 hair 哦。
Yeah, we use hair if it's a person.
Yeah, 那我们也常常看到 furry, F-U-R-R-Y, 那就是毛这个字的形容词，毛茸茸的。
They are named after the Samoyedic peoples, their original owners in northwestern Siberia.
那他们的名字，也就是萨摩耶这些犬的名字，来自最早的饲主，也就是西伯利亚西北部的萨摩耶人。
So be named after, that means that they got their name from these people. And who are these original owners? We'll learn more about them in the next sentence. But the Samoyedic people, so here, even if you're not familiar with the word Samoyed, because we see an IC, a lot of times IC words are the adjective forms of a word. Yeah, so we'll know, okay, so it's a type of peoples. Oh, peoples. Usually we say people is not something that you can put an S, right? Why can we put an S at the end of this people? Because it's talking about a community of people or a culture of people. So this is when it's appropriate to put an S at the end because we're saying after the semiotic community of people. Yeah, so peoples 在这里是 group of people.
Yeah.
Okay, the semiotic group of people. That's just the way that you can look at it so you don't get confused. And what does it mean by original owners in northwestern Siberia? That means that maybe in modern times now, there are a lot of owners of these dogs in different parts of the world. But originally, 就是最原先, they were people from northwestern Siberia.
对啊，因为毕竟现在萨摩也很常见嘛，你想养你也可以养啊，
Yes.
对不对？所以我们才要强调说它的 original 是谁。
The Samoyedic peoples were peaceful nomads who survived the cold northern climate by hunting and raising reindeer.
nomad 这个字最近很流行哦。那这句话呢，他在说萨摩野人是爱好和平的游牧民族，他们透过狩猎跟饲养驯鹿来撑过寒冷的北方气候。
Yeah, so they survived this cold weather or the climate. The climate is like a long-term predictable pattern of weather.
气候。
Yeah, weather conditions, 气候。And how did they do this? By hunting and raising deer. 他们是透过什么样的方式让他们生存呢 ？Survive 呢 ？By hunting and raising deer. So the by, that preposition is very important in the sentence. 借由这个两个方式 hunting 打猎 and raising reindeer. So what is a reindeer? If you ever heard the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? So a reindeer is basically a type of deer.
Yeah.
And then they did it by raising reindeer. Okay. The raising reindeer in Chinese would be 养这些
就是饲养这些驯鹿。
Yes. So what is a nomad? I want to talk about that. Nomads are a group of people who don't have a fixed home. Okay, they move from place to place and they just kind of don't have a place, they don't have an address that is permanent. Okay, so the adjective would be nomadic.
Nomadic, 游
Okay?
牧的。
Yeah, a lot of people now have nomadic lives or lead nomadic lives because they feel it is more cost friendly to not have a fixed home and then they can just move from place to place. So there's more freedom. So it's just a new kind of culture that people are kind of living.
那最近这个字很红，也是因为数位游牧嘛，所以 digital nomads 也有这样子的用法。
Their dogs helped with both tasks and were also trained to pull sleds over the snow and ice.
他们的狗不仅帮助他们完成这些任务，老师刚刚有讲 task 这个字的复数，对不对 ？x 的声音，然后还被训练来在冰雪上面拉雪橇。
So here, a task is a specific job or responsibility that needs to be done. Okay, so they could say with both things that need to be done, and we're also trained to pull sleds, blah, blah, blah. So it's just one word that can just say all of that. So it's a good word to learn. We often get tasks from our parents, you know, like clean your room, wash the dishes. Okay, they can be called chores as well in this situation. 家事, C-H-O-R-E, S if it's in plural. But tasks is something that you can, like anything that is given to you that you have responsibility to complete.
It's like on your to-do list. 你要 check off 的东西就可以叫做是一个 task 任务。
Yes. And train to pull sleds 就是被训练去拉这些雪橇.
So it's a passive tense, 被动语态。
被动语态. And sled is just a vehicle that slides over ice or snow.
Yeah, 雪橇。
They treated these dogs like family members. So the dogs developed a deep connection with humans.
那他们把这些狗视为家庭成员，因此这些狗与人类建立了深厚的连结。
I want to talk about that word treat. Treat as a noun means like a little 陪藏, like a little 礼物 or something. Like
就是像你如果喂狗狗或者给零食，那就是一个 treat.
Treat, okay, some little small thing, a little gift or an object that is given to someone or a pet that makes them happy. Okay, maybe you're giving them this treat just because they're being good, okay, or being obedient. But when you use it as a verb, treat, it means to behave towards someone.
对待。
对待 someone. Like Minnie treats me with kindness every time she sees me. Okay, so 他每次看到我，他就会有非常
很友善，对我很友善，
对我很友善。So treat can be like that, or I don't like the way you treat her.
我不喜欢你这样对待她。
你的态度可能不好啊，还是你讲的话不是那么的好听。So treat 也可以用这个方式。
那 treat 也有治疗的意思，例如像 treatment.
That's right. It took me long. The hospital treated me for 5 months.
那这个医院治疗我治疗了5个月。
Yeah, exactly. So it's a word that has a lot of different meanings.
学一个就学好多个。
Yes. So the dogs developed a deep connection with humans. So develop in this situation just means it grew and evolved.
Okay. 建立发展我们就用 develop.
During the winter, the dogs helped keep people warm and even protected the children while the adults were hunting outside.
在冬天，这些狗会帮助人们保暖，甚至在大人外出狩猎时保护孩子。这边可以看到一个很重要的文法，叫做 help keep。老师说一个句子只能有一个动词，为什么这边有2个动词？原因是因为 help。你要 help 加上原形动词，或者是 help to 加上原形动词。
Yeah, so you could say helped to keep people warm, but you could take out that to as well. All right, let's take a short break. Samoyeds were first brought out of Siberia at the end of the 19th century.
那我们这一段呢，就讲到一个时间线。萨摩野犬于19世纪末首次被带出西伯利亚。
So 这个首次 here is first. Okay,
Yes.
Samoyeds were first. Okay, so the first time they left Siberia was at the end of the 19th century. Okay, that means it's close to the year 2000s, right?
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. So it was like almost to the year 2000, so at the end of the 19th century. And then they were brought out of Siberia because we learned in the previous paragraph that they were originally from Siberia. That's why we have brought out of Siberia. So here we see 2 prepositions next to each other. That's because bring out 就是从中西带出来 and 从哪里带出来 of Siberia. That's why we have 2 prepositions next to each other.
所以看到2个介系词在一起的时候不要害怕，通常一个介系词会是属于前面的片语的，
Yes.
后面的介系词会要告诉你一个时间、原因、地点等等的。那像这边的话，我们就是看到 Siberia 嘛，就是西伯利亚。
Yes. Later, they worked as sled dogs on trips to the North and South Poles.
Later 这就是后来，对不对？所以我们的故事接续下去的那个转成词就可以很简单的就用 later 这个字。后来他们在前往南北极的旅行中担任雪橇犬，拉雪橇用的。
So worked as sled dogs. 就担任这个角色 sled dogs 的角色。Okay? In the process, these brave animals faced such difficult conditions that only a few of them survived and returned.
所以讲故事的时候，这个 in the process 这边就是在过程中讲故事的时候也会很常用到这种，就是给你一个故事 setting 的一个用法。这些勇敢的动物呢，面临着极其艰困的条件，以至于只有少数存活下来，而且返回。
So in the process, you could also say along the way.
Along the way.
Along the way, these brave animals. And then I think here the author used brave animals to kind of really call attention that these dogs, they really did face or were confronted with very difficult conditions. So such in this sentence is just another word for very. Okay, so such difficult conditions. So these dogs were very brave. So then instead of saying Samoyed every sentence, now we have brave animals to replace it as a substitute. Okay, and only a few of them survived.
A few.
Yeah, so out of all the dogs, a few of them. Okay.
所以 a few 不是少哦，它是等于 some 的意思，也就是一些。
Exactly. Although they once lived in extremely cold environments, Samoyeds have gotten used to warmer climates and now keep people company around the world.
所以你看我们这边的句子从 although 开始，尽管他们曾经生活在极寒的环境中，很冷的地方才看得到萨摩耶，但是萨摩耶犬已经适应了温暖的气候，如今。所以就是 like now, right? 在世界各地陪伴着人们。
Yes. So have gotten used to. When we say we get used to something, that means that we are exposed to this thing for a period of time and then we just start to accept it as a norm. Okay, so
习惯。
养成这个习惯，或者开始习惯一个东西。So have gotten used to, that means that the Samoyeds in the past until now have slowly started to get used to these warmer temperatures or warmer climates. And now keep people company. So when we say that 陪伴着 in English, we say keep someone company. Will you keep me company tonight? I'm feeling very sad. Something like that. 就是陪伴一个人 Okay? So that's why we have keep people company and where around the world.
所以这边老师刚刚又特别强调了这个完成式的用法。这一篇其实用到很多完成式，他都要强调说这件事情从以前持续进行到现在。所以他就用完成式来写。再来就是 company 那个字，我们大家学到的第一个意思一定都是公司嘛。但在这边 keep someone company 一定要记得把 keep 也一起记进去。keep 人 company 就代表陪伴某人。它是一个非常好用。中文常常讲你要不要陪我，你要不要陪我？英文就是 Can you keep me company？
Yeah, and 这个跟 accompany 有一点不太一样。
不一样。
ACCOMPANY Can you accompany me？ 这个意思是说你可不可以
跟我一起
来做一件事情？对 ，Can you accompany me to the office？ 可以跟我一起走去 office， 可是不是陪伴那种心灵上面的陪伴。
因为那个陪伴比较像是，即便我们两个没有做什么事情，反正你在我旁边就好。
Yeah. Can you just accompany me later? That just doesn't really have an emotional attachment. But keep someone company feels like they need you for moral support or kind of emotional support. So it's a little bit different.
所以有一点点差异。它那个 keep me company 比较是有那种情绪上面的那种陪伴。
Exactly. All right, so hope you guys learned a lot about Samoyeds. Tomorrow's lesson, we'll continue with this topic. So we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.